All right, are you ready?
Yeah? This episode is brought to you by Carlisle Tattoo Co. Bold, bright and everlasting. You can find us at 178 Carlisle Street, St Kilda, Melbourne, Australia.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Carlisle Studios. We are Jack X Tattoo.
Cody Hill Tattoos.
Charles Cooper Tattoo.
And we are taking over for Helen Bella this episode.
That's right. Interruption from regular broadcasting.
100%. The boys have taken over. Yeah, so we'll start off with a weekly recap. What have you been up to, Charlie boy?
My weekly recap. It's been good. We just got back from Hobart. Well, that was last week, was it?
Yeah.
Or have we been back for longer than that?
Last weekend, yeah.
Yeah, so that was good. Pretty. We're talking about last week, yeah, for the weekly recap.
Yeah, mate.
Mate, it's been a week. You got back from Hobart. I fucked off to Queensland, so it's been a week.
About a week. Yeah, it's been good. Been busy because you had a little bit of backlog from that week we were away.
How was the trip?
It was
Like
good.
I wasn't on it.
Hey?
Like I wasn't
Yeah,
on
you were
it.
fucking
you were
there,
there.
cunt.
Yeah, it was
You were there,
fucking-
bro.
It was good. Good first guestie for sure.
Yeah, Hobart was sick. We went down there, Hobart Tattoo Collective, with met our mate there, Mr. Two Heads, and then it was sick. How long were we there for? 4 days or something?
Yeah, 4 days. So went up on the Wednesday, tatted Thursday, Friday, Saturday, came back on the Sunday.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah,
I like Hobart a lot.
Oh, it was sweet.
I reckon if I was gonna move somewhere like out of Melbourne in Australia, it'd be Hobart.
Oh,
for
you could be
sure.
fucked with the cold.
I like it, bro. The buildings were nice.
Yeah, you like it because you had the double bed.
It's quiet.
I was on the bloody World War II cot.
This all came out yesterday. That
Muscled him out of it.
Jack was unhappy with the housing arrangements because I was saying to Courtney, saying, "Oh, Hobart was sick. You know, big king bed, nice Airbnb in this like castle-looking building and shit." And then
Jack's on like the army grade fucking fold out.
well, yeah, Jack had like, yeah. How would you describe that thing? It was
Just back pain.
at
in
the
general.
moment. At the time, I was like, it was fine. You know, I thought you didn't care, but then it came out yesterday that you
Hey,
were,
Jack didn't see how we had to sleep in Sydney.
How'd you have to sleep in Sydney?
Charles had to sleep on like an outdoor setting.
Oh, yeah.
What? That's damn near what I was sleeping on, I swear. But mine just had springs.
No, yours was arguably worse. But I had to bring all the outdoor like fucking straw mesh seating from outside on the balcony inside.
Is it
The
wicker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like
That's
that.
fucked up.
And I slept on that. It was comfortable though.
Different type of wicker.
It's a good sleep.
Yeah, yeah, not the app.
It's like when you're younger and you're like sleeping under a bath mat at your mate's house because he forgot to give you a blanket.
But yeah, well, I liked Hobart. Jack didn't
No, it
have
was sick.
the greatest sleeping arrangements, but
Nah, but I can make two. It was a good time. Definitely will be going back. What about Goldie for you, Cody?
Yeah, Goldie was good. I shot up there last Tuesday. There was definitely like a lot of shit I didn't take into account because we flew out at like 6 o'clock. Flight is always fucking delayed by half an hour, so probably 6:30. And then pulled up. Me and Rachel like got out of there. I had to go wait for this shuttle bus to get taken to like where we were picking the hire car up from. And then it was like we got there just as the bus was getting loaded up and they didn't have room for us. And then we're like, how long's it going to be? How long's it going to be? And he's like, oh, there's only two of us working. We'll try and be as quick as we possibly can. And we're like, well, how long? And he was like, oh, like half an hour. There's roadworks. I was like, fuck this. It's fucking 9:30 at night. I've got all these bags. So we just got an Uber there. And then I didn't count like the time from Brisbane Airport to Gold Coast. So then we got in the car, chucked it in maps, and it was still like an hour and 10. So hour drive down to the Goldie, but then we got to
where'd you fly into?
Brizzy.
Yeah.
But then we got to the hotel, which was QT on the Gold Coast and Surfers Paradise, which was actually fucking sick. Got there because it was staying for 5 nights, got upgraded to like the fucking deluxe suite. So rolled in there and all the problems went away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. Rolled down the 383 tattoo in Broadbeach on Wednesday morning. Made a couple tattoos. I actually only had one appointment for the afternoon, but then this Canadian dude rang up and he'd been trying to get to me on Instagram and me slipping, hadn't checked
ghosted
the
him.
request. Yeah. So then he came in at 2 and we Sorry, Bobby was just walking past.
Yeah.
Throwing a fucking, hey, how are ya? Yeah, so do a couple swallows on his chest and then had my next guy roll in at like 4:30. Did a eagle that I'd drawn off some Bob Woods flash like a week prior, so it was cool to do something new. And then the next couple of days were just followed by chilling by the pool.
You go on the beach at all?
No, I didn't even go to the beach when we were in Goldie.
Fucking
The
hell.
pool setup was way too good. Bar, sun lounges, cabana lounge, all of it. It was too good to even
On,
bother
you stayed
going
on
to the beach.
surfers, yeah.
Yeah. And we had like a couple of friends like get a hotel in Goldie, so they just came and kicked it by the pool every day. I went down to Alfred Street tattoo on the Wednesday and got tattooed by Alex Tyrrell. That was a solid experience. Good to go check that shop out because I've been meaning to for a while. And then what was that? Oh no, I got tattooed on the Thursday and then chilled Friday and rolled in, made a couple more tats on the Saturday, and that was all the tattooing over. Went out Saturday night, then rolled down to Noosa on Sunday, kicked back for a few days, and now we're here.
I heard you got lost at sea.
I definitely did, yeah.
That was the word going around the shop.
So on the, what was that? On the Monday, that was our last day up there, so I saw this pamphlet for like jet ski tours and there was like an ocean option. So I was like, sick, let's go do this. And you could have like up to 3 people on one jet ski. So me and Rachel jumped on one. And it was like, he was like, oh, has anyone ridden a jet ski before? And I couldn't be fucked with like the hassle of it. So I was like, yeah, I've ridden one before. Never ridden a jet ski. And then he was like, all right, sweet, you can follow me. And then we're riding out and I'm like, fuck, we're going to be the first ones that have to pass through the heads, which
They're
is
easy
like
to ride, aren't they?
Huh?
Are they easy to ride?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. But we had to pass through the heads to get out, which is the sandbar essentially, which is, given where you are, if you have no experience, it can be like quite difficult. But given it being a jet ski, it's not too bad. Like I've passed through plenty of heads in boats, which is like a lot more dangerous due to like the white water and stuff like that. But being on a jet ski, you can sort of just shoot through it.
Yeah.
But as we were heading out, there was just like this grey sky shifting across and it was just like, fuck, cunt.
That's never good.
Nah, and the wind started picking up and stuff like that. And then, yeah, we've like managed to get out through the heads and we get out there and the guy was just mad chiller, like typical fucking surfy town type thing. And he's like, oh, it's fucking getting pretty wild. Like, I might just go back and see if everyone wants to come out. I don't think those girls who were on one will make it out. And I was like, oh yeah. And he's like, just chill here. I won't be long. And me and Rachel were just like literally floating just outside the heads. And this cunt's gone for like fucking 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And in that 20 minutes, the sea just starts surging higher and higher. And
you're
I'm
not
just
moving,
like,
it'd be worse. You're just
nah,
like in the
you're
same
just
spot.
floating in and out of these fucking waves that are picking up. I'm like, this is fucked up. And Rachel's like, stop being a bitch about it. It'll be fine. I'm like, you don't even know what's coming.
Yeah.
So then eventually he comes back with like his dad and his son. He's like, good to keep going. I was like, fuck, I guess.
With the dad and his son.
Yeah, but they were loving it.
Sweet.
And then we're just shooting through and it's just getting more and more hectic as they're going and Rachel's hanging on, fucking freaking. And then, yeah.
Well, yeah,
it's like,
because she's realised now that it's like gotten fucking worse.
mate, I was full survival mode. It's like getting chased by these waves, trying not to get fucking rolled over. And you're in the fucking big blue.
Is the adrenaline pumping?
It wasn't good adrenaline though. Like we got back.
No,
and,
you're going to die adrenaline.
That's
absolutely. And we got back and I was just like, I don't even know if that was fun.
Nah, no way, bro. You're just happy you're
It
alive.
wasn't, absolutely. And Rachel's like, yeah, you're right. That was fun.
I don't know if that was fun.
Right,
I
and I
change
know-
my underpants.
Yeah. But it
those
was good. But then we went out for dinner with Rachel's sister that night and her boyfriend was like, oh, yeah, I didn't want to tell you guys before you left. But there's been like a bunch of great white sightings over the last couple of days. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sick. And he's like, check out this video. And it's this fucking boat pulling in a 5.5 metre great white from the day before. They'd been caught in the nets. And yeah, that's all I'd been picturing when we were floating out there.
Well, that's one less you need to worry about, I guess.
Yeah.
That's still sort of scary that they're out there, though. That
Yeah.
big.
But yeah, it was eventful life experience, I guess.
Definitely, bro. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. The boys are coming to a city near you.
Always. What about you boys? You been tattooed recently?
Yeah, I have actually. About I think it was a day ago, 2 days ago, I got Mickey McLeod, one of the artists here at the shop, Style King. I got him to fill out all the sort of gaps in my arm sleeve with like
Sleeved it out.
sleeved it out with like smoke and skulls and Yeah, just like whips and stuff, which is good. And it fucking hurts so much, man.
Well, like cattle whips.
Yeah, cuddle prods. No, well, I came in thinking, oh yeah, this will be done like a couple of
Yeah, I always
hours.
do.
It'll
That's
be
what
sweet.
happens. Sit down to estimate it.
And then it took like an hour for him to draw it all on pretty much. And it was like the whole day. Like he had nothing on, but it was the whole day and I was dying, man.
Yeah,
And
you
we
can see
need
it
to
in
put-
your eyes.
We need to put more black in it.
You walk in relaxed, you're fucking suffering.
Yeah.
Oh, especially on the arm. When you get in the fillers, you're like, oh, arm's easy
Arm's
as,
fine.
bro.
That was my
You
You
mentality.
sit there and you're like, oh,
Arms like
fuck, my
nothing.
day's getting ruined.
And then Jack kept looking over at me and I kept making eye contact with him and he was saying like I just had the dead eyes, like no expression.
Yeah,
You were just looking
emotionless,
through me, bro.
Man.
I felt bad for you.
Yeah. I'm also in the process of getting like my back framed up with some like traditional Sakyant tattoos from this trained dude out in Shepparton.
Fresh.
Do you want to elaborate on what Sakyant is for those who don't know?
So Sakyant's like traditional Thai tattooing. So it's like a needle on the end of this long stick, similar to tabori in a way.
Yeah.
And they're just sort of poking you with this stick. It's like a stick and poke on a larger like instrument. And they just do sort of like sacred prayers and scripts and stuff all around your back. And then, yeah, I was always keen to sort of get something like that done just because at the Muay Thai gym and shit, all the fighters, I have the classic Sakyant like in the middle of their back.
And because Hal's been rinsing you that you don't have a proper back piece.
And yeah, I thought I got my back done, and then Hal just kept calling it what do you say? A 1/4 back job or 1/4 back piece because it wasn't dense enough for
What's
him.
Bella got then?
Nothing's ever dense enough for Hal.
Yeah,
You gotta go full blackout.
and yeah, initially I wanted to get it done when I was over in Thailand, which is recently, but it was just like going to be a fuck around, like spending the next 3 weeks like trying to deal with it healing over there, like going in pools and
It's not
swimming
ideal.
and
You
stuff
want to
like
swim,
that.
you want to enjoy yourself.
But yeah,
Do you reckon it hurts more than getting tattooed with a machine?
nah, no way.
It's nice because you have like a subtle break in between each hit.
It's sort of more intense because we're in the room. There's no music or anything happening. It was just like listening to the clock, which is like a metronome, and then it was just the sound of my skin popping
That would be
like
fucked.
for like 5 hours.
Especially if you like usually they will have someone there stretching for them, but if you don't, he didn't, did he?
Nah.
Yeah, so
was
that's,
just no
that's
stretch,
going to hurt a lot
was
more. There'd be
poking
so
you.
much resistance.
It
in
was
that.
me just like sort of sitting like fetal position on the ground.
Trying to like stretch yourself.
Trying to
out.
like stretch over my knees, and then he would just like sitting on this chair behind me and just jabbing me. But yeah,
Lucky you're a fit young boy,
exactly.
nice and tight.
That's sus, bro.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
we're not going down that route.
Yeah, change the topic. What's the most memorable moment from
Nah,
your
Jack, have you
apprenticeship?
been
No,
tattooed?
no,
have
no,
you
no,
been
no.
fucking tattooed?
Oh, well, yeah, I have, yeah.
You're
Fucking
skipping
Hal
the
fucked
question.
my shit up, bro. That was a big day. You know it's a bad day when Hal tells you to get your shirt off and he pulls out the Sharpies. Because he's going off.
Well, he said it would only take an hour.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we'll just blast this thing on your fucking whole sternum to take up half my torso. And he's like, it'll be like done in like an hour and a half if you sit good.
Describe it for the listeners, Jack.
So pretty much he's just drawn on freehand a massive like rip through crazy looking skeleton through the middle of my torso.
Yeah. Like
And
ripping
then-
through the skin.
Yeah. So pretty hectic piece, a lot of black in there. So definitely not the easy way to do it.
It is very black.
And then
Yeah.
you threw the patch on top.
Yeah, and we got branded up top, the fucking CTC till death.
It
Haters
is
will
very
say
black.
it's fake.
I was looking at my I've got a few tattoos on your torso. Next to Hal's one, they look like
Yeah.
washed out in comparison. You know,
Because
I don't
every
know how
time
it
we
gets
go
so
to
black.
every time we go to do its hat, Howard just says like, nah, it's not hectic enough. It's not crazy enough. Like you need to cover the whole fucking area.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
yeah,
that's-
that day we did, and it fucking ruins me.
Yeah. Because every time I tattoo you, say if we'd have nothing on the morning or whatever, he'd always be telling us to do something crazy, you know? And then we'd end up like doing just like, I don't know, like a hand size thing or maybe a bit bigger than that. And he'd be saying, go crazy, go crazier. And then when he was drawing that on, he was like, Charles, this is what you two should have been fucking doing.
Yeah.
Instead of doing palm size stuff.
He's got a point. I actually got tattooed by Mickey yesterday as well. Yesterday, Arvo.
You did.
I did.
I saw the video on his story of you with the long neck.
Ah, mate. Whatever it takes to get through it. It was cool though. It was this like little sort of crazy dope head looking thing. It was an old design off a John Nash and Pete Davidson sheet from the 80s.
Yeah.
They worked out of a shop called High Energy Tattoo in the Fortitude Valley in Brisbane through the 70s and 80s. And it was, it's something I've been eyeing off for a little bit. So I was happy to get that off Mickey.
Did he have the sheet or do you have the sheet for him?
I've got like an archive of old Aussie stuff on my phone. So
Yeah.
I thought it was actually a different design. He was drawing it and then I pulled it up and it was different. And Mickey was heaps more keen to do that design. So it worked out well.
Was he drawing
And it fit the spot a lot better as well.
Was it the gearhead one initially? Like
Yeah.
the needle going through the head?
Yeah,
Well, whose
yeah.
design's that? Ed Hardy?
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
But yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Not well versed in that. You'd have to ask fucking Mickey.
Yeah.
If
Mickey's
it ain't
got the-
Aussie, I don't fucking know.
Well, Mickey's, I was thinking when I see the old flash sheets start coming out, usually it's from Mickey's USB, which is like,
The holy
no,
grail.
no, we don't
crazy.
talk about that.
oh, sorry. Yeah, that's classified information.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on there. That's all I'll say. Too much stuff.
Too much. That man is the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
It's there to be kept.
So yeah, most memorable moments of your apprenticeship. Let's go, Cody. You probably have some stories.
It's definitely a hard one. I would say getting it, like first day, would definitely be a big one. Not for like any moment in particular, but that's just always a big thing. It's pretty, I don't know, it's always different rolling in there, like especially coming from working, if you've been working in a different industry for so long, it can be sort of hard to figure out like what's expected. Like I think for me, I just went in there with a very like, I don't know, probably blue collar mindset. So what was, I don't know, I think what I determined being like working hard was probably more so the cleaning and just being meticulous with that stuff. Whereas
Was because you hadn't done it like in
no,
your
I
other
hadn't.
work?
And you know, like the hard work essentially does come from your drawing and your output of flash and stuff like that. The cleaning and stuff, as important as it is, and you need to be onto that and be sure that you're doing things correctly and being clean. That's just the start of it. That's just the start of every day, you know. That's only taken up an hour or two of it, and then you're ripping stations and setting up and stuff like that throughout the day, which you need to be onto that. Bang, bang, bang. As soon as they're done, you're fucking onto it and you get it done.
Or they're onto you.
Yeah.
And you know what that-
Absolutely. But your work, your hard work comes from in between and when you're at home.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, if you do come from a blue collar background or working in a trade or something like that, that is never something that is really a thing, you know. You don't keep working when you go home, you switch off. So I think it took me a while to adjust to that. But
It's like
then,
a perpetual thing.
yeah, absolutely. And that just comes with experience as well. But then first tattoo, for sure, you never sweat like that. You never wig like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, and fuck, I reckon even the first 6 months of tattooing, day in, day out, it's just feeling so shit about yourself.
Oh, definitely.
And then, you know, a year passes by and you see those tattoos again and you go, all right, they weren't as fucked as I thought they were. Never great, but,
Or you think,
know,
oh, they
they're
weren't as
more
good as I
fucked.
thought they
yeah,
were.
or some of them are worse, but fuck. You think they're pretty bad, so I think they would have to be pretty bad for them to come out worse.
Yeah, true.
But, you know, people sign up for that and they're happy to get them. And I do offer to fix all those tattoos up. And half my mates are just don't even want me to touch them. They're just happy to wear them for what they are.
History.
Absolutely. And it's just, you know, that's something that you should be so grateful for.
Oh,
That,
100%.
that they are happy to wear them like that, because I fucking wouldn't be. Getting that shit fixed ASAP. What about you boys?
I would have to say probably tattooing my mum and dad. Like that was a pretty big moment in my apprenticeship.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm still
along-
waiting for Michelle.
Along with all the
mate.
bullshit, like tattooing like your close mates and your mum and dad for the first time, as stressful as it is, it's like pretty cool to see because you get to show them, like bring them into the life that you've just kind of like jumped into and like given everything to.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously at the start, there's a lot of doubts coming into tattooing, and like your family, when you tell them, yeah, I'm gonna fucking quit everything and become a tattoo artist,
My mum
not
tried
make
to
any money.
My mum tried to talk me out of it.
Legit, bro.
She's
And
like, nah.
Yeah?
no, I was only one mate who was like full, like, yeah, fuck it, just go for it, bro. This is what you want, go for it. And then the rest, everyone, obviously they were still supportive, but they were kind of just like, are you sure this is the right thing to do? Like, You're going to be making no money for a year.
My mum was fucking off.
Can you even fucking draw? Like, I've never seen you fucking tattoo anyone.
Yeah.
See, all my mates doubted me, but my mum was the one that supported me the most.
That's
but
sick.
I was like fortunate enough that like my mum had like still does have one of her best mates from when she was fucking like 25, owned a shop out in Leongatha where I grew up originally.
Oh, so she saw it actually.
She saw it and he was always like very switched on, set up well financially, owned houses, everything like that.
Saw a
So
good
she saw
example
that
of it.
yeah, absolutely. And like, you know, he wasn't this fucking crazy cunt that was just like a piss head and on the fucking gear and everything else. He was a very well set out like fucking adult, you know? So
Like a
there was,
professional,
he was just like
not
a fucking
not
proper
just some
person,
like
you know?
gang member or fucking
Yeah, or
whatever.
fucking whatever else it is. But yeah, there was just a lot of confidence in the fact that you can live a good life from it. I remember when like I told my stepdad, like my mum and him split up when I was about 16 or whatever, but I caught up with him for dinner one night and I told him, and the look on his face, he was like, what the fuck is this cunt doing? But he hasn't got a tattoo. Like when he caught up with me like a few years later, it wigged him out. Hated tattoos with a fucking passion.
And you had a few then, obviously.
Oh yeah. yeah. I was deep into it by then.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking nice.
But
What about you, Charlie?
Well, yeah. Well, rolling into because when I first started, when I made the that choice, I wanted to do it.
Yeah, jump straight in.
Well, it was because I'd sort of come off the back of another apprenticeship. I was doing my chef apprenticeship, so I was doing that for like 4 years. And then you get paid like fuck all doing that. And so each year you get a little bit of a pay increase.
So you're used to just making no money.
Yeah, and working like a dog.
Charlie Ramsey.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Except I was getting abused by people like
Yeah, you were getting the abuse, not slinging it.
yeah, exactly. And then so then my mum was always just like, you're just about to get qualified and like make some okay money. Like you're just gonna go back to making nothing again. Well, because then I was like, oh yeah, it's probably going to be unpaid, all this shit. This is coming out of the lockdown, saved a bit of money in lockdowns with all the JobKeeper stuff. But then she was off it. She just wanted me to, she didn't think it would be like a sustainable job, What was the question?
But yeah, and coming out of COVID too, like you weren't sure of anything. You didn't know if we were about to go back into a lockdown or anything like that. So
Yeah.
everything was kind of up in the air.
Most memorable moment, was that what we were talking about?
Yeah, bro.
Of your apprenticeship.
Well, there was a hard day when I tatted Bobby. We talked about this last time I was on the podcast. He's like, oh, just fill some gaps for me. And he's saturated purple background on his stomach. First time I was tattooing. That was pretty rough. And that's burned into my memory.
And that's tattooing the boss too. Like
And
that's,
that was like
that's
high
a stressful
pressure.
day.
He's like, yep, keep going. My client's going to be here soon. You need to just like smash it out and get it done, which is sometimes you need to work under pressure like that,
Yeah.
And how many tattoos had you done by then, do you reckon?
Not many.
And
5?
so pressure's on.
5 maybe.
And you're slow as fuck.
And I've
they're-
done, and all like say I do it on my mate's thighs or something,
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
own legs.
And you've got nothing but time.
Yeah,
you have to-
exactly. It took like 3 hours for me to do like a below palm size skull on my leg, but I'd done a few tats on my leg at that stage just because I wanted to practice.
You boys went hard tattooing yourselves, and that's something I wish I did more of.
Well,
I fucked my shit up.
I blacked out. I've got like a big blackout heart by Bobby over one of my knees. And then one day I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to black this out because it sort of faded and like marbled a bit. And then as soon as I started, I'm like, oh, I should not have done this. But
Yeah, I had this like piece of shit flower on my thigh that I got off
the
this
blackout
dude.
flower.
Yeah, I got it off this dude who thought he could tattoo out in the area where I grew up. And I just fucking hated looking at it. How like ripped on me from the moment I got it. And I'd like only gotten a handful of tats from him by then. But I did like an Old English R on my thigh for my partner Rachel. And I remember Bobby was like, just do like an Old English letter and like whip it halfway up. So you've got like, you get a bit of experience shading.
Yeah.
And I remember doing it and it's like, it's your first fucking tattoo. It's never going to look how you want it to look. And I'm like, that looks fucking shit. So I blacked the whole thing out and it just looked even fucking worse. But then I was just like, fuck, I want to keep practicing shading. So I just started like blacking out this fucking flower on my leg. And it was like a 5 petal like flower. And I did like half of it and left it there for like a fucking year and a half. And I was like, when are you going to fucking finish that off?
Pretty big, man.
That is
Yeah, it's
I'm looking
big.
at it now.
It needs to get fucking lasered bad. But then...
that thing is gonna.
That thing
hurt
ain't
to
getting
come off,
lasered.
bro.
You laser that?
well, the thing is, it's fucking too
You better get the
layers.
cheese grater out with that thing.
It's like I got laser on a tat and it got darker. I don't think it's gonna come off. It got
really?
darker and it blew out a bit.
Yeah, fuck.
This one. So I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah,
A lot
those,
of those early tats I got off hell on me. I don't think you could laser them.
mate, those 14s are in there.
Well, they're on the bone. It's
Yeah,
like bone structure. Anyway.
Yeah, when they dig you up in 1,000 years, they'll be able to see what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Jack? Most notable moment?
I already went.
Did you?
Yeah,
What was
but
it?
we can. I'll send me mum and dad.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, but we can kind of segue into a time that you questioned yourself in tattooing.
Every
Which like
fucking
kind of
day.
leads onto that. Like at the start, when you're first starting to tat, you're like, say you're starting out, you're doing yourself or your close mates, and then you first start doing clients for free.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty much.
I remember I tattooed my friend Renee. She came in and I was doing like these. It's this old picture machine design. It's like some chains with two skulls hanging off it and then webs coming off. And it was on the back of her thigh and I'd only tattooed like the side of like the calf and stuff like that, an area which is like essentially you don't have to stretch whatsoever. It was probably like my 10th tattoo or something like that. And I remember doing it and just not stretching enough and it just wasn't going in.
Yeah.
And I lined this whole tat and I just like cleaned it up, ink fucking everywhere, and it was just not even fucking there. It may as well have just been bloodlined. And then I was just like, what the fuck? And then it was like line this thing twice essentially.
Oh, no.
Still not even fucking there.
Just cut this thing.
And then
off.
I was like, whatever, I'm just going to have to shade this fucking thing. I reckon I'd shaded one of the skulls and she was like morbidly hungover and she was like, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah,
She's
fair
like,
enough.
I can't finish this. And I was like, oh, all right, it is what it is. And I only finished that when I went down to Phillip Island with Mickey in like, what was it, fucking March or something like
no
that.
way.
It took so long because she moved down to the island and there were a bunch of times she was meant to come up and like as usual, shit just comes up.
How did it look?
Well, we went in and I was like, all right, it really isn't as bad as I thought it was. And it
Yeah.
was like the lines were like that old at that point that nothing needed to be relined. It was just like, just shaded it, just
Yeah, sick.
reshaded all of it and yeah, it came up good enough.
That's a
For
win-win.
what it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing when you first start out. When shit starts going wrong, you've got no fucking idea what's going wrong.
Well, I remember-
It makes it so much harder.
I remember after she left, like I just thought I'd absolutely fuck this tattoo and I was like, full Menti B. I was out the back and Rudy's come out. He's like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Man, I can't fucking do this. Like, this is fucked. I can't do this to people day in, day out." And he's like, "Man, it's all right. Like, we all go
I
through it."
can't do this day in, day out.
No, well, it's
Scar
fucking like
people.
that.
I
And then,
can't fuck people up for life day in, day out.
but yeah, but he's like, "It's all right. It's just a part of it." And that is the reality of it. It is
Yeah.
part of it.
You can't hold so much weight. You can't be thinking like this is on someone forever when you're doing it because you just wig yourself out.
Well, it's that every day for the first fucking months, and then.
It starts
You know,
getting a
you
little
just-
easier.
It gets a little easier, and then every now and again you have someone that doesn't sit too well or something like that, and you have those tattoos again. But I don't know, it just becomes easier to deal with. I think.
Yeah. One of those things. Every day is a different day in tattooing. Like I swear, no day ever feels the same.
Nah.
Like some days you be fucking ripping, like feels easy as, and then some days you're just fighting it a little bit. But I guess that's the beauty of tattooing, eh?
Well, yeah. That was that one time that I seriously was like, I was rattled as by the tat. I think, Cody, you were meant to do the tat initially and you're like, oh, Charles, you do it. I think it was a shop booking. It was when I came to Carlisle, so semi-recently. And it was the finger tats on that girl.
Oh yeah.
And she came in and there was sort of like a language barrier at the start, so hard to communicate already. And then I'm not sure what, she had a sort of something where like her arms and her hands were quite shaky.
Yeah.
She couldn't hold them still. I'm not sure what that is. I don't want to use the wrong word.
Yeah.
But and it wasn't too bad at the start. So I was like, oh, okay, like, because in that mindset, I'm like, I'll just do the tat. Because you never want to do like a walk-in, a fine line walk-in or something that's hard. You just need to sort of do it.
Yeah.
And then, you can't just be turning them all down. And then I started doing it at the start. The hands were all right, so I could sort of pin them down. But then each finger we did sort of got like, and they were hard tats. It was like an eye, so like an eyeball, like 3 circles, pupil.
Well, anything on the fingers is just difficult in
Let
general.
alone circles.
And she wanted all fingers done. Each finger I did, it sort of got worse, the shaking. I'm not sure if because it was of the pain or whatever.
The fingers fucking hurt to get tattooed.
man-
The further down you go, the worse it gets.
I ended up, I was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. I did one hand and then I got up, went to the back room and I sat there, man. I was like almost crying, bro.
Yeah.
And then Bella's like, you all right? And I just felt so rattled because I was like, these tats weren't coming out how I wanted them to feel, or how to come out, sorry. And I just felt so like, I was lost, man.
It gets
I was
like that.
fuck,
Those tears in the
You're
back room
that,
are real.
The picture of Pablo in the pool, sitting in the chair.
Yeah, honestly, and I was just staring at the floor, thinking like, what the fuck do I do? I said that to Bella. She's like, oh, if you can't like finish it, just tell her you can't finish it.
That's the
finish
thing,
it?
like not.
No, I was like, I couldn't finish it, bro. It was like would have been impossible to finish.
What'd you say to her?
I went back out and I said, oh, I reckon we just call it here. I'm like, I'd love to be able to do the rest of these tattoos, but I think just because with the shaking of your hand and stuff, it's just not going to be able to work
Yeah.
how we want it to work.
Sometimes you just have to be honest with people, and that's a hard thing to do, but it's better than.
But she was fun.
continuing.
That she's like, oh, okay. But because she didn't say, when she booked in, she didn't say that she had like anything like that.
Yeah, obviously.
So I think she just came in, she wanted to get tattooed, obviously. And then, yeah, we
So
just,
you got one hand done,
yeah,
but one's better than none.
I think so. Yeah, depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
No, it was all right. But yeah, she was pretty chilled with it. She was just like, oh, okay, no worries. I think she understood. She would have realized, obviously, that her hand wasn't like still.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Cody, why did you choose tattooing? Or did tattooing choose you, mate?
Yeah, fuck. You can
That
go.
life chose you, bro.
You can go pretty
Yeah,
deep
bro.
on it.
Go deep, bro. I want to hear it. D&M time.
It was I don't know.
fucking
It's sort of hard to like elaborate to the full extent, but I think like I remember getting my first tattoo like clear as day. It was the 9th of January 2014. So I'd been 18 for 3 months to the day. Did I say 18 or 19? I've been 18 for 3 months to the day. So on 9th of January coming up, 2024, it'll be 10 years of getting tattooed.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're old, bro.
Yeah, and I haven't got heaps left either. But
Oh, you've done well.
You still won't let me tat you.
Done well, mate.
you'll be fucking getting some room. Don't you worry. I got a spot for you.
On the
I was
forehead.
thinking about it this morning while I was in the shower of all places.
I want the dick.
That's where you think you're deepest, I think. But yeah, so I got my first tattoo on that day. I got a panther head on the inside of my arm by Andre Cleary. Pretty well renowned tattooer in Australia. Was tattooing throughout Europe a lot through like the 80s and the 90s, I'm pretty sure. He owns a series of shops called Taboo Tattoo, one in Blackburn, Boronia and Belgrave. It was just always a local shop that I would pass. Like I lived out in Emerald, you always had to go to Belgrave to get the train. And it was just the only shop I knew of. So I went in there, got the tat, and like I remember him turning to me and he's like, "You're gonna be addicted." And I was sort of just like, "Oh, yeah, all right," like just typical weird old dude thing to say, but mate, it was so fucking right. Like,
Oh,
from
100%.
the second I got that first one, it just flicked something in my brain, and I didn't necessarily think about tattooing at that point, but I think, you know, I started getting tattooed somewhat consistently from that day. Nothing like crazy, but I was still getting tattooed as much as I could essentially afford.
Yeah.
And I think like by the time I was 21, I'd really started like fantasizing about it, but I didn't think it was something that was possible for me. But a lot of stuff did sort of start coming up for me, just memories of like tattoos I'd seen, taking notice of tattoos that like my poppy had, and like asking my mum about hers and asking her about Cam, our family friend that had a shop when I was a kid, and like just remembering like going into that shop all the time to eat lunch and looking at all the flash on the walls. And it did become this very obsessive thing. Like, although I didn't necessarily think I could tattoo, it did consume a lot of my time just looking at flash and different tattooers, and the history thing is always something I'd nerded out on. So just, you know, essentially you always hear about Sailor Jerry first come and reading up on that, and then further into the American stuff. And then I remember just being like, fuck, I wonder what Australian tattoo history there is. And I really started nerding out on that for a little bit, just looking into that stuff. And then between 21 and 24, I was getting tattooed more and more and more, obviously making more money. And then, yeah, I don't know. It was just I hit a point in my trade where every day was a fucking chore. You wake up, you can't get out of fucking bed. Rachel was dragging me out of bed most mornings because I just couldn't fucking get up and bring myself to go and do something I fucking hated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it just hit a point where something had to change. And I messaged Hal again because I had, when I was at 21, I was like, oh, I'd love to tattoo. And he's like, oh, you got to do this, this and this. And sort of being 21 and not motivated enough or essentially not having the confidence.
You out of home at that stage?
Yeah, I was living at home and I just sort of started trying to draw and stuff like that. And I probably did it for a month and I was like, I can't fucking do this. Like I can't draw to save my life. And then I sort of revisited it again when I was, 24 with Hal and he was like, it's the same as before. Draw the same shit. Don't try and draw, just trace. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to fucking do this.
And I think it sort of gets worse as you get older because it's also like the not getting paid aspect of it is like quite daunting, you know. You think if you're living out of home especially, you think, how am I gonna survive to do this?
It's like you take a step back.
You need to if you want to do it, you need to fucking want to do it, man, like 100%.
And just bank as much money as you can before you start.
Yeah.
And that
you were doing part-time, weren't you? Or casual shifts or something?
So I worked like full-time up until I sort of worded them up.
Yeah.
And it was sort of, I don't know, it wasn't set in stone, but I'd been doing maintenance at this tip on machinery. And then I sort of just went like, fuck this. And I just quit. And I said, I'm going to get an Arvo shift job working at a factory and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get an apprenticeship. I'd put out the feelers at Vintique and it was potentially going to happen, not set in stone, but I was just like, whatever it takes. And then I'd been getting my back done by Rob Mopar at the time and I mentioned it to him and he's like, look, I can't give you an apprenticeship, but you can come work here on Sundays if you want, just for a bit of shop experience. And I was like, sick.
Yeah.
I wasn't even expecting to get paid and he was giving me like $150 a day or whatever.
What were you doing there? Phones and stuff?
Just like sitting at the counter, scrubbing tubes. He taught me to do that, just mopping the floors, just standard shit. Yeah. And it's the same thing, you know, like it was more so the physical stuff of just like, oh, I'm answering the phones, I'm dealing with people, I'm scrubbing the tubes and cleaning. Yeah. Well, I should have been sitting there drawing and asking for tips, but it sort of takes a little while to get your head around that. And then, I did that for a little bit. And then I was working one night, I was doing Arvo shift. So I was like 4:30 to 12 or something like that. And I was down this aisle picking orders and I saw Scott was calling me and I was like, oh, fuck. So I answered the phone and he was like, yeah, we'll give you a 2-week trial if you can. And I was like, done, I'll be there tomorrow. And he was like, just settle. Come in next week on Tuesday. We'll go from there. And I was like, cool. So then, I did like the 2-week trial and there was no word of like, we'll keep you or we don't want you or anything like that. It just kept rolling. So I think I was doing like 3 or 4 days at the shop, sort of scattered throughout the week doing the Arvo shift on top until the end of the year. And then the Christmas break came where the factory shut down. And I didn't actually get a call back because it was through labour hire, but I think I'd sort of decided at that point already. I was like, fuck it, I'm jumping into this full time. I had some savings behind me. Rachel had finished her studies, so she was back to working full time and she was happy to just support me as long as it took. I think I said to myself, I'd give myself like 18 months and if it wasn't working out, I would just move on to something else.
Yeah, right.
And then we came into like lockdown within 4 or 5 months of starting there and it actually allowed you to get on the dole. So that was sort of a bit of saving grace financially.
Yeah, easy money.
It was a hard apprenticeship because it was so on and off. Scott ended up leaving to open Golden Heart. I stayed at Vintique and it was so on and off, but financially it was a blessing and, you know, like I don't know, there probably were people that just fucking gave up throughout that whole lockdown period because it was too hard, but you know, I persisted and we're here because of it.
I think a lot of shops and like established people also like just couldn't survive through it, you know?
No way. But, you know, getting back to the question, it was just this fucking dream thing. Like I was obsessing over it. I loved getting tattooed. I loved being in the shop. The idea of, just doing something you love every day. And I think for me, I was never going to be able to perform well at something for longevity if there was no love there for it.
Yeah, if you didn't care about it.
Nah. And it essentially was, I played music as a kid and I loved hardcore, and that took up a lot of my passion, and I just fucking loved getting tattooed, and I loved the art. Like, I was never into art, but then tattoo art just fucking...
It's different.
It blew my mind, and there was nothing else I could see myself doing.
Yeah.
What about you boys?
That's similar to me. With
Yeah.
the just always into getting tattooed, as soon as you turn 18. I think, how'd you find Vintique anyway? Because you're from out the hills.
I don't...
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I'd gotten tattooed at like a few different shops. I got one tat off Andre. I got a few tats off like Avalon at the Grand Illusion when she was first starting out.
Yeah.
I got a tat off Oliver Christensen at Third Eye. And then, I don't know, it must have just been Instagram or something.
Yeah, right. Well, because
I reckon it was, because I think I remember a sheet of Hal's Flash coming up, and he was an apprentice, and it's this bulldog I got smoking a ciggy on my forearm.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it, and I just saw Hal's stuff, and I was like, oh, this is like kooky. It's a bit different, but it's super traditional, and I really liked it. And it was just...
And how
It
was
was
taking
cheap, it was
photos
cheap.
in this mesh string vest.
Oh, it was definitely it was a few years before that. I reckon Hal
The
had maybe been
fishnet fucking
tattooing.
singlets.
Yeah.
Hal had maybe been tattooing for like a year at that point.
Yeah, right.
But
Hal's style has changed up a lot over the years as well.
absolutely. But yeah, I remember just going into that shop feeling welcome. It was cheaper because he was an apprentice. I wasn't making much money. I just wanted to get tattooed. So I was just like, sick, this can work. And it was like I could try and fucking go there most weeks if it worked out. And it did. As the money got better, Hal got better, the more I could get.
How got better, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I went to school in Morty, so that's not the only reason I knew of that shop.
Yeah.
And like I just walk past that shop every day. So I'm glad that I didn't go somewhere else, because I would have ended up just in like whatever shop that I walked past, you
Man,
know?
Yeah, for
if
sure.
I didn't go to that shop and spend the money that I did and meet those people, I don't think I would have started tattooing, because I don't know if anyone else would sort of back you and say you can do it if you want to do it. You
Yeah.
know, you just got to commit and
Or give a fuck about
yeah,
you.
and like you know, like Hal said, he's like, you can do anything if you're keen enough. He said, you learnt how to do what you did. Did you know how to do
100%.
that? You know?
Yeah.
Well, and at Vintique, they showed you the experience of tattooing. You go in there, everyone's talking shit. You're getting tatted, people coming over, talking to you.
Yeah.
They like remember you when you come back through the door. And
Even the clients know each other because they're in there at the same time getting tattooed.
And
Even-
like from down our way, like southeast way, fuck, there was so many people that I didn't even realise, but had all been tatted at Vintique. Like so many people that like would be down at the footy club, be at the skate park, be at fucking
Are you and
school
Cody
and
from
shit.
similar areas? Or?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
minutes away?
Yeah, like you take Wellington Road to get to Emerald.
Yeah.
Like the end of Wellington Road is sort of the start of those hills, and Rowville's sort of like the start of it essentially, because
Yeah,
it turns
pretty
to
much.
North Road as you're heading out of Rowville.
but yeah,
Which leads
like
you to St Kilda.
they
Full
pretty much
circle, mate.
tattooed fucking everyone.
The Lost
down that
Highway.
way.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember that as well. Like I'd started getting tattooed there, and it was like all these older boys were getting tattooed there. It's just like Charles said, full circle.
Yeah, exactly. And I just saw the fucking 2 full bee skins arms, and I was like, I need that. I need that fucking dark and bold.
What, his own arms? or arms that he was
just
doing?
ones that he
Oh,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, I seen him down our way, and yeah, from there, I remember I messaged someone on Instagram, and I was like, "Who does your boyfriend's tats?" Because I was like, I just
Sick.
wanted to get tats, but I wasn't like, I didn't really know much about him. I just knew I wanted like that style, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Fuck, that's what I want, bro."
That's
So-
crazy. You're in the DMs.
I was in the DMs of someone,
boyfriend.
yeah, and I was like, "Yo, what?"
Yeah,
it kind of sounds a bit
what-
sus these days, eh? But yeah, she was like, "Oh, Bobby Skins at fucking Vintique," and I was like, "Sick." And then
done.
legit, the rest is history. Got my arms blasted,
Yeah.
and now we're here.
Yeah.
The man behind it all.
When I started going there, I feel like Bobby had only started just really trying to push like all the heavy black trad. Before then, it was like all the really like way less black, heavy saturated color and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
because I remember I messaged Bobby around the same time as Hal, and it was for colour stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Yeah, the time that I went to Bobby,
What
I
did
didn't
he-
even know he did colour.
What did he say?
I just messaged him for a quote and stuff like that, and it was like around the same price as Hal, but I just ended up getting tattooed by Hal instead.
Yeah, different like style choice, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was because like I had mates that went and got tattooed by Bobby instead because they were more into that, or Scott, and we all just obviously had different tastes. I was into the fucking whack shit that Hal was putting out.
Yeah, it was goofy.
Nah, it was cool for the time.
Yeah.
So
Well-
pretty much we all got into it for the same fucking reason, I guess.
Okay. Which leads us to who's your tattoo idol?
All right. I think you could like ask this 6 months apart and it will always change, but I think, I don't know, it's probably pretty broad as well. I would say idol as far as maybe achievements have gone. You could say, I don't know. All right, we'll say idol through like length of career and achievements. I would say John Dollar, just because the cunt's like 74 and he's still tattooing 3 days a week. And I would say he's even probably getting this second wind of like popularity because people are just seeing this shit and it's fucking Aussie and it's
Heaps
cool.
of people in the shop are getting tattooed by him at the moment.
Mate, when I went and got tattooed at Alfred Street, the dude working the counter there, like he would have been like, I don't know, 20, 21 or something like that. And his arms are just done by John. And I'm like, you're flying down here to get tattooed by him. That is
fresh
fucking
as.
sick.
You can't not respect that.
No fucking way. And it's like he has laid the ground for Melbourne tattooing. Like it wouldn't be what it is right now without him.
Or Australian tattooing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And like
And I even see like I follow a few American apprentices on Instagram. They're doing like
froth it.
$20 designs and shit.
how could
And
you
a lot
not?
of like I see a lot of like the South Korean artists like go hard for Johnny Dollar. Like
Mate,
if you post a Johnny Dollar tat, they're like, "Where'd you get the fucking reference from?" They want the flash. They love it.
Mate, it's absolutely just like a fucking sick style, the fillers, everything about it. But then I think, so like let's say that over like career length, but then there are guys like, I don't know if idol is the way to put it, but like guys like Ben Hastings, Caleb Harrowart, Fergus, Benny McDowell, like
Yeah.
I think the way that they are pushing Aussie style so hard and they're taking it to new heights of like, that's all those guys get to do day in, day out. Fergus is over in fucking New York City
It's Smith
and
Street, bro.
people are getting Bob Wood skulls off him or fucking Johnny Dollar designs, and it's like it's growing it to a new height where more and more people are wanting to do it. The guys at Rosie's, they're doing full fucking sleeves, like Sleeve Master style, something that was so popular throughout like 70s, 80s, 90s. And I think that is something so special to continue to keep alive, you know, and
For Aussie tattooing.
and like I think like, you know, I went and got tattooed by Caleb at the start of the year, and what those guys are doing at that shop by just preserving all this old flash and investing money into it, and it's like, mate, that shop's like essentially like a fucking tattoo museum to an extent.
Yeah.
Reese Gordon has rooms out the back of Little Tokyo with Bob Wood's machines, Flash, Greg Ardren, like all that shit, you know, and that is something so fucking special. And because I fucking nerd out on it so hard, it's that is what's influential to me at this point in time. And I think just like keeping that alive, and I think, you know, like if you as like a white Australian, I think it can be very hard to sort of identify with culture. And I think that was something I found so relatable when I really did start getting into that form of tattooing. It was sort of like, fuck, this is like what being Aussie is about. You know, like if you love your tattoos, I think that's something that you start to identify with, and then you sort of come across your style and it just blows your fucking mind and you just want more and more and more and more. And it's like, I feel like I'm really sort of starting to find my niche. I don't feel like I'm fucking doing it well yet, but I think it's,
but you're
that's
pushing your own-
that's the only place I want to go with it now.
You're pushing your
you
own
know?
style, you know.
Well, not even my own. It's just like I just want to push this Aussie stuff. I want more of it out there. I wish I got fucking covered in
For
it.
those who don't know, what would you say is like the defining factor in an Aussie style? What is Aussie style compared to American?
I think just like imagery, color, the color palettes you use. I obviously like predominantly tattoo black and grey, but I think that's another thing for me. I want to do it in black and grey, you know. Cobra Snake does it fucking sick. Caleb does it really well because there's such high contrast, which is probably something that can be really hard to achieve. Same with fucking all the guys that are doing it. But
I reckon it's way sharper, man.
I think heaps sharper. Like just
looking at your flash, I'm saying that's
stars.
Yeah, that's
like
sharp.
Flowers. The additions you add to just like I don't know, little fucking. It's just all these weird little kooks that I don't even know how to explain it.
The bubbles.
But the fucking bubbles, flames, flowing skulls, all of it. The more you look at it, the more you understand it. And it's probably not something I'm great at fucking putting into words, but look into it. Just look into it. There's a page, Australian Tattoo History on Instagram. There's fucking like 2,500 posts. Just dig through it.
Yeah.
Just look.
A sick page.
What about you boys? Who's your fucking idol?
What do you reckon, Jackson? Your next
Well,
mate?
yeah, obviously coming up, like learning about like American traditional tattoos to start off with. Obviously, all like the Smith Street dudes. Like I always loved black tats, so like Eli Quinners and stuff like that. Like just so fresh.
The king of fucking black and grey.
Legit, just
such
sick examples of traditional tats done like black and bold. And I think that's like seeing like when Bobby and Hal really started pushing that. That's where I started really getting me love from it. So I'd say in part that, like, yeah, Bobby and Hal, me tattoo idols as well, which sounds a bit fucking corny, but it really is. Like, that's
They've
how
achieved a lot.
They're the people who kind of showed me what it was. They obviously brought me into it, and I've learned everything through them.
I look up to them a lot as far as like successes goes.
Exactly.
And you know, like it is that thing. Tattooers don't tend to set themselves up that well. It's a fucking like pirate lifestyle. And those guys have. You know, they may not feel like it yet, but they've got good lives because of just their hard work.
The longevity in it too, because like if you want to become a good tattoo artist, like you obviously just got to have like that like amount of time in the game. You have to stay around for years and stay relevant to be able to do the tattoos you want and keep progressing.
The willingness to commit.
And they kind of showed us the tools to do that. Like they're still going. No signs of slowing down at all.
No fucking way.
And they can pretty much at this point kind of, do what they want with it.
Hey,
so I think it's like a perfect example of where you'd want to be and where you want to go.
Hey, and man, the fucking amount of cunts those guys tattoo, you know,
Exactly.
they're gonna have a fucking impact. You know, it's like it's never like the tattooers that you're asking like who'd you get fucking tattooed by? It's like it's the fucking different cunts you see every day on the street. Who'd you get tattooed by? Can I look at your tats? And it's like, mate, do you know how many fucking people are going to be walking around in their 60s and 70s covered by Carlisle?
100%.
And like Hal and Bobby in particular, you know?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of it getting around. They had their impact already and there's fucking years to come.
For sure.
Right.
Charles Idol.
Well, yeah, running off what Jackson said. Well, when I started getting tattooed, I knew fuck all. And so basically the original Vintique team who was there, Bobby, Hal, Scott Moss, they were like, that was all I knew in tattooing. So, and they were like, I remember going there, I thought they were just the coolest cunts, you know.
100%.
And they were workhorses.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I reckon style-wise, and obviously you have to like, without saying like all the OGs like Johnny Dollar and stuff doing the Australian thing.
Yeah, the pioneers.
Like you have to respect that for sure. But style-wise, I was more inclined to like that Smith Street style, you know, the stripped back, real classic American traditional. And they were all like, just from what I saw, like on socials or on the internet or whatever, they were just workhorses, you know. And they just pumped it out. Akira Latanzio in America as well. He was at Rose Tattoo? Well, it's R&D now, I think. But yeah, he's like style-wise really into all that, everything that he's doing, like the lettering and stuff, just the way.
Yeah, he has like very specific lettering style.
Yeah, it's sick.
For something like so simple, he makes it look so good.
Yeah, Martin Kazan.
Oh, he's so
fucking
fresh, dude.
man.
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
It doesn't make sense. Like, it's so fucking nice.
yeah. But yeah, and all the Smith Street dudes, obviously, Eli Quinners and all them guys, you can't not like appreciate that, you know, and idolize them.
I feel like it's too hard to narrow it down to one person because you really do learn and take away from like a lot of different people in the industry.
I
Like,
feel like you asked that question and it's just a fucking can of worms.
oh, 100%. Like you could go on for you could have a whole fucking 3 podcasts over just who you think is a
Just
fucking
name
fresh
dropping.
tattooer.
Got the list of names.
Yeah.
This can't, that can't.
But yeah, so fucking
That next question we already covered.
the chicken chips one.
Oh, nah. Yeah, chicken chips. So
Alright.
this is a question Hal wanted us to answer, clear up for the listeners. So chicken flavoured crisps is what he's saying, like crinkle
Yeah.
cut. Apparently it's an Aussie thing. It's not anywhere else.
Really?
Just
I
in
find that
Australia.
very hard to believe.
Well, that's what I'm just going off what Hal's told me. So
Maybe
I'll,
they've got
I'll
like,
take it as
maybe
gospel.
they've got like Aussie convenience where it's the only place you can get chicken chips.
No way, chicken. Surely, like chicken's a fucking normal
Hey,
flavour.
But do they
Apparently-
have-
apparently?
Yeah,
Apparently
well,
not, Jack.
Yeah.
Only chicken.
Bro,
and
they've
chips
got
and
like
that.
fucking barbecue and like Vegemite and shit like that. Surely they'd have
Yeah,
chicken.
but only-
They're not
yeah,
having
but that's in
Vegemite
Austra-
chips in any other
that's in
country.
Australia.
Oh, that's a
bro.
fucking example, all right?
No, well, I'm thinking, you know, Lay's chips. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
American?
Yeah, yeah.
They've got chicken.
Yeah, but then you get weird flavors from them that like you don't get in Australia, like fucking ranch dressing.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
So how is chicken so far fetched? They don't have chickens in other parts of the
Yeah,
world?
but you
What?
want a
When they have the
but
Lay's
you
in
want
Tha-
a salad dressing chip.
In Thailand, they have the Lay's seaweed and like the spicy squid and like crazy shit
Yeah,
like that.
Oh yeah, and fucking Japan with the crazy Kit Kats and shit like that.
Yeah, seaweed flavored Kit Kats and shit.
Yum.
Yeah, only an Aussie thing. That's
What do you
So
like?
fetched,
What do you? Are you into
but
it or
do you
not?
like them? That's the question.
yeah.
I fucking love chicken chips.
I can't. Eat,
more-
I feel like you can't eat heaps of them.
Nah, but they're like plain chips. You can't go too hard on them.
Yeah,
But I'm
they're
picking like
super
chicken
salty,
chips
yeah.
over plain chips.
Nah, I'm
any day.
on salt and vinegar.
Damn. Yeah,
Oh, I
salt
love
vinegar
salt
for
and
sure,
vinegar.
bro.
Go to.
Fucking know.
But you eat a bag of those and your mouth starts vibrating.
Yeah, but you know,
Yeah, bro.
yeah, but
Herdy
what about
chips.
like a Red Rock Deli like honey soy chicken?
Oh,
fucking sick.
The Red
chip.
Rock. Yeah, have you seen the price of chips these days, bro?
Mate,
It's
it's
fucking
fucked
$6
up.
a packet.
Mate, try 8, cunt. You want a good bag of kettle or something? The Primo.
Yeah, dude, I used to rock up to school with like a fucking 1.25 bottle of like LA ice or some shit. And like a
LA
fucking,
Ice, the drink of home and away.
yeah, and then like
Is that what they all drink on
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
like a $1 bag of just a massive bag of like salt vinegar chips, bro. That's set
Is it
for
like
the day.
LA Maxi Ice? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah. LA Max.
Oh,
And you had to
on
be
that.
drinking it warm too because it was like 30 cents. You're like, fuck, well, 30, bro.
I love that like
50.
an Australian sodas calling themselves LA Max.
I like it.
You know.
La Max.
It's like LA gear.
Yeah, it's a LA Lakers fucking maximum
Chips.
cola.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think
Maximum cola. Yeah, max flavor.
do you think the perception of Carlisle matches up to reality?
Fuck no.
$2 tat shop, boys.
Nah, definitely
Well,
not.
that was a rumor. I don't know what the perception is because I don't
Yeah.
know what like Hal just sometimes says stuff just to razz me up.
Nah, I think.
Because everyone thinks you're a fuckwit, or you know, and he'll say that, and you go, oh, "What?" He tries to get a reaction out of you.
Nah, there's definitely like a fucking negative perception of Carlisle from other tattooers.
The Tat Factory.
What cunts like to fucking piss and moan because they're not working enough.
We got a lot of haters.
Well, like what? What's the fucking negative perception? What? Because we're doing a different style of fucking tattooing to what you guys like. I don't know. What is the perception though? Are we going off other tattooers' perceptions or?
Well, I don't know.
I would say the perception of Carlisle.
I think
Like
I
that's-
think it would be a positive perception as far as customers go.
Oh,
I don't think
100%.
fucking
And
many
that's-
people come in here and have a bad time.
And that's the thing. That's what matters. That's the people you're putting the tats on. That's the people who are choosing to come in. They're the
they're the
people
ones
who are
paying
putting
your fucking bills.
exactly, bro. And they're the ones who, at the end of the day, decide what's good and what's not because they're the ones who are getting it.
And if you don't like it, suck a dick and fuck off.
And like, of course, yeah,
Get that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, true. I think Bobby will veto that pretty quick.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
is it-
one. That's one
yeah.
thing that I've always found good about Carlisle is that you really like. I feel like the customer really does come first.
Oh man, I think it just is like a solid continuation of what Vintech was, you know.
Exactly.
You come in, you have a good time. Like, there's no fucking ego bullshit where we think we're fucking above you or anything else. So we're all just fucking people. We're drawing pictures on you. We're here to have a good time.
Doing
And
our little
fucking make
drawings.
tattoos, you know.
Fucking know.
Well, I've tattooed people that are now like I'm mates with, you know.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
And that's something that's so special on top.
I feel like I'm just tattooing, the boys, the homies.
100%.
So-
There's people that come in, you're just like talking shit like you've known it for 10 years.
I'm not worrying if like, do they think that I'm cool or are my shoes cool
gives a
today
fuck?
or fucking are my tats cool or whatever, you know?
They
It's just-
they obviously like something if they're coming back repeatedly.
Exactly.
And we're fortunate enough to have a lot of people that do. And it's not just the one of us, you know.
Yeah.
There's plenty of us that are fucking all tattooing the same cunt.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, real.
Yeah, fucking
Real talk.
fresh ass. And for the last one, fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, hell.
Who the fuck are we gonna do this about?
How. Well,
Well, what are we working off here? Just anyone?
I feel like it can't be anyone we know because then it gets real like,
No
weird
fucking way.
and personal.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, all right, let's just go off like, if you could have anyone in the world.
Ice Spice, Nick Dacos.
You marry Nick Dacos.
I fucking haven't said it.
No, he's saying that. Let him drop the names. Let him get it out. Let him get it out.
Ice Spice.
Who's Nick Dacos? First of all?
Really?
The footy player or something.
Yeah.
Collingwood footballer.
Oh yeah.
One of the
goat.
brothers.
The Collingwood.
Who's the third
Fucking
one?
goat, bro. Up the pies.
Oprah.
Oprah. Damn.
No, wait. Are we what? Are we all going off the same three?
So Jack's gonna say 3 names and we're gonna fucking choose it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, is it Ice Spice, Nick Dacos, and
I'd probably. Oprah.
Oprah is such a fuck.
Who would
left
have?
the field?
all right?
Oprah?
Well, all right. I'll fuck Nick Dacos. I'll marry. I'll marry Ice Spice, and I'll kill Oprah because. I don't know. She's probably on some Illuminati shit. Have you seen like all the blue painted shit in Hawaii?
Yeah.
It's not burning down. I'm saying
That's
Oprah just for that.
crazy. What, you're killing her?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oprah's in her bag, so
Oprah's already made all her money.
marrying
She's
Oprah.
lived
She's
her
done,
life,
bro.
bro.
She's had a good life. Dacos is just getting
100%.
started.
I'm killing Nick Dacos. And
Why?
Ice Spice can get
Bro,
it.
Ice Spice is getting it.
we've
for sure.
got beef if you're killing Dacos.
Nah,
Well,
fuck Dacos, bro.
Sorry, bruh.
If you're listening to this,
Well, I'm
bro,
thinking-
You're gonna fuck Dacos.
no way.
I'm thinking business
well,
mind.
what is it? What's the three? Charles?
I'm marrying Oprah. Oprah got the money. Ice Spice obviously getting it. And Dacos, I don't give a fuck about him. Go the
I hate
Bombers.
you cunts.
I'm trying to think of names. All I can think of is like political figures.
All
So I
right.
don't know if I
Are
can
we
go.
gonna do
Julia Gillard, Harold Holt, and Kevin Rudd.
Are we gonna do a fuck, marry, kill each? You've picked your 3 people. What are yours, Charles?
You go next. I need to think more.
All right. I'm gonna. Do you know who Saweetie is?
Sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh, like, yeah.
The rapper.
yeah.
That's my type.
Yep.
So Saweetie, Rihanna, and Peter Dutton.
All right, Dutton's dying for sure.
I'm fucking Saweetie. I'm marrying Rihanna, and I'm killing Dutton.
There you go. Yeah, I'm following suit there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind marrying Saweetie though. She's a bit younger than Rihanna.
Who are you marrying?
Well, I said Rihanna. She's got a lot more money though. So
Bad
yeah,
girl.
marry Rihanna.
Married a bad girl. Trying to think, bro. Let's just think. Let me think of 3 names. Tiger Woods.
And you got a father ASAP Rocky's kids, bro. That would be crazy.
That'd be pretty cool. You don't want that beef.
Mate, honestly, I can't think of every name
Come
I think
on,
of. I
come
think
on, you
fuck
gotta
it,
do it,
This
bro.
would be inappropriate to say. Let's say.
All right, me, Cody Hill.
Nah, because then after whoever.
Hey, bro.
Who's signing?
You picked your fucking Oprah.
So
Charles
obviously-
is picking the people.
All right, sorry, my bad.
We'll put Hal in it because Hal's an easy one. Hal, marry, off the bat.
I'm fucking out.
Tiger Woods, fit bloke, I guess.
So what are you doing? You're marrying him.
Nah, Hal's getting marriage. Hal's getting the ring.
He's getting treated nice.
Who's your third one though?
I don't know, man. I can't think of one, honestly.
Get it together.
James
cunt.
Hurd. Legendary footballer.
All right. So what's the order?
How is James Hurd well off these days?
Oh, it's probably not off too bad.
How do you know?
He'd be doing fine.
I'll put him on. He's
Mate,
not
you're
doing.
trying to get Hal to fucking comment on his former coach. You can't do that.
I'll say he's not doing better than you. So Hal's getting the ring.
Bullshit, cunt.
Damn.
Hurdy's getting the marriage. Who's this other person I said? Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods is the one with the most money, bro.
Oh,
Do you
nah.
understand that?
I'm off him. He can die.
Mate, I'm gonna fucking veto this. We're done.
Yeah, fuck. All right. That has been the takeover of the podcast, boys. Yeah, pretty much come in and get tatted.
One
We
time only.
appreciate it.
After Hal, his episode is not going to be happening
Fuck yeah.
again. So
But yeah, this is Jack X Tattoo
Or
with
maybe
fucking
every week.
Cody and Charles. And fuck yeah, we're out, boys.
It's been enjoyable. Until next time.
ta-ta.
Fucking oath.
This episode is brought to you by Carlisle Tattoo Co. 178 Carlisle Street, St Kilda, Melbourne, Australia.